Yeah, it's a good question. We do lift weights. We do certain weightlifting moves more than others. So we squat with the barbell, we deadlift with the barbell, we push overhead with the barbell. And then there are certain movements that we've stopped doing because I've lost the interest in doing them, but more importantly, I don't see the value in them anymore. So one of the things in particular with bench pressing is that you develop a good amount of strength in the shoulders and the arms, but it's a strength that's very linear and it doesn't have much mobility. It's stuck in one plane of motion. And actually, if you bench too much, you actually take away mobility from the shoulders and from the elbows. And then that limits you from doing other things, say like handstands or other crawling patterns, because the muscles become too developed. The other thing is, being in the fitness industry for so long, over 2 decades, I gotta tell you, I've seen guys bench press 3 days a week and the chest didn't really improve that much. It didn't get that much bigger. They didn't get that much stronger. And some did. Some people who are genetically gifted to put on muscle, they're able to do that. But most people, they do a lot of bicep curls. For example, the arms don't get bigger. Actually, the arm hits a point where it grows a little bit and then it kind of stabilizes. It kind of like hits a rut. And the reason is because you can only make the muscle so strong. And like if you think about it, it's kind of cool down here in the lower level. The ceiling is concrete. And whenever I attach something to the concrete, you gotta put the bolts in the concrete and then tighten the nut onto the bolt. Well, if I tighten that nut too hard, the bolt's gonna snap, and it's happened to me a few times. And in essence, that's kind of how you should think about when you try to develop the muscle with strength over time, something's gonna give. Sometimes it's an injury, which is why I find it fascinating. So many people have golfer's elbow and tennis elbow, but they never played golf or tennis in their life. And it's because it's an overuse injury, actually, that it's been given the name golfer's elbow or tennis elbow, but really what it is an inflammation or a tendinitis of the tendons in the elbow, mainly from doing too many of the same repetitive movements like bicep curls or bench press. So I kind of put those things on the shelf maybe 6 years ago and started to develop or explore gymnastic strength. So it's developing your body with your own body weight and developing not just strength, but also mobility, which is 10 times more important. And the results were astonishing. Actually, in the beginning, when I started doing the gymnastics work, I was overdeveloped because I had been doing bench press for so long that I couldn't even lift my body into a table. I could not lift my chest, my hips, so that they're in line with my shoulders because I was overly developed. And that really created a pain point for me, but in a way that made me want to dig into it more. So the reason we don't do much bench is because I find that people have been doing too much of it. We do weight lift, but generally we don't start there because we do other things that have been neglected for so long. The mobility, the strength, mobility or strength within body weight, mobility as well, so range of motion. There are people that cannot touch their toes, cannot even bend very far, and they're trying to deadlift with massive amounts of weight with a barbell. And it just doesn't work. Something's gonna give, and most times it's the back. Now, when you're in your 20s, you can get away with so much. You're in your 20s, you could do everything wrong and still make a bit of progress. When you get into your late 30s and 40s, You walk by a Krispy Kreme and just inhale the air and you put on 10 pounds. You look at the barbell the wrong way and your back is sore for a week or 2 weeks, right? So, but those things happen as we get older because we neglected certain elements within our body for so long, and then it starts making itself present as we get older.